are here at a local March for Life event in Florida. Doesn't seem like it because it's so cold, but how fitting that baby's first event is a pro-life march. We're very excited to be here. Come along with us.
We want to pray for all the unborn. We want to pray for all the pregnant women that they make the right decision and that they come back to Christ.
In short, we're just here to stand up for those who can't stand up for themselves.
Real quick, guys, if you want to do something positive to help support life this month, we are running a fundraiser at lhmerch.com where you can get this shirt right here that says Overturn Roe v. Wade, and 100% of the proceeds are going to a pro-life pregnancy crisis center in Tampa that's located right beside an abortion mill that helps women choose life and supports them through their pregnancy and after as well. So make sure you click the link that's pinned in the comments below, and while you're there, check out our other pro-life merchandise so you can let people know that this is the year we will overturn Roe v. Wade and we get our message out loud and clear. What brought you out here today?
To stand against the egregious murder of 63 million children that has happened since the anniversary of this superficial thing that the court passed, and everybody just took it on and just accepted it as law, and it's not even law. They just don't have much of a backbone to stand up against it. So in short, we're just here to stand up for those who can't stand up for themselves.
So a lot of the, I would say, pro-aborts, I don't even call them pro-choice anymore, they're pro-abortion, pro-murder. They say that men cannot have a say on the topic of abortion or of the woman's reproductive system. As a man, why are you so passionate about it and you're out here anyway, even though they tell you that you can't be?
Well, my first response would be, first of all, women are not asexual, so they need a man to make the baby. Therefore, the man has equal rights to the child just as the woman does. I mean, even though it's hosted in her body, it lives in her body, it takes an X and a Y. And not only that, but part of the problem in this nation, I believe, I grew up without a father. My dad died when I was 4. So for women to say that the man doesn't have a say is to say that they don't want their child to grow up with a father and proper training and godly morals. So I would just say that's hogwash, because it takes 2 to make a baby, not 1.
It's a little sexist if you ask me.
It is very sexist. It is, but we can't, the culture has just has just obliterated moral values and moral compasses today that, 63 million children can be murdered without the batting of an eye. Right. And the pro-murderers get so loud and so egregious and so yelling and rah, rah, rah. And I'm out here thankful to be walking around peacefully, because the truth can stand on its own. It doesn't need to yell, doesn't need to scream, doesn't need to fight, but it can stand on its own 2 feet. Why
are you out here today? What brought you out?
Well, we're out here to end abortion, end all the children getting killed every day, end Roe v. Wade, and save our children.
So as a man, why do you care about abortion?
Well, I've got 3 children, and every life that's killed with abortion is an injustice to everybody. So, I care about children dying.
I heard that men aren't allowed to care, so I was just wondering, just making sure that you are allowed to care. So, anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I want to say we want to pray for all the unborn. We want to pray for all the pregnant women that they make the right decision and that they come back to Christ.
Absolutely. Amen. Pastor John.
Hello.
It is so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you in person. I've seen you on YouTube all the time.
So you're subscribed to my channel.
Absolutely. Who wouldn't be?
Exactly. Who wouldn't be? And hit that notification bell while you're at it. So, what brought you out here today?
Well, today, the 49th anniversary of Roe v. Wade, and so all over the nation, I think right now there's a lot of people very excited, very motivated about the possibility of Roe being overturned. And, I'm an advocate for that. I absolutely want to see that turned over and put those decisions back in the hands of the states and let the states begin to make those decisions according to its citizens. However, as we mentioned in the rally earlier, the issue of abortion really is not a legal issue. The courts have made some decisions, legislation has been involved, but it's really an issue of the heart.
Okay.
And so to bring people to the understanding back to the basics of Scripture, where God is the author of life, that's really why I'm here today, not just to pray for the unborn, but to speak up for the unborn, not just to advocate for courts to make different decisions, but for people to make different decisions.
Do you think changing our laws is part of that as well? So you don't dismiss that, you just don't think that's the end all?
Absolutely. I don't dismiss the idea of changing the laws at all. As a matter of fact, most laws are generally created, right now we see some things happening that are not necessarily the will of the people, but most of the time those issues are pushed because the people pushed for them. I would say the reason why abortion became legalized is because somebody, and many somebodies, pushed for it and nobody pushed back. And right now, I think you have a lot of people across the nation, they're motivated, they see, so to speak, what they might call a finish line, this idea that Roe v. Wade could be overturned. So they're very motivated and they want to be very active, but I don't consider it a finish line. I actually consider it a starting line because the game simply changes and it becomes brand new. We have to become very involved with people's lives and helping them to understand the value of the life that's within them.
I like that. Last question. There is a Republican here in Lakeland who proposed legislation to go from the 24-week abortion ban in Florida to 15 weeks. Is that good enough?
Oh man, that's a tough question. I will first say no, it's not good enough, but it is good. You know, if I was on the 20-yard line of the opposite side of the field and I'm trying to get to the end zone, I have 80 yards to go. I'm going to be very happy when I cross the 50-yard line. Is it good enough? No. But do I have to cross it? Yes. And so these legislations that move from 24 weeks to 15 weeks, maybe to 12 weeks, and we have to grab a hold of those and take them, but we can't stop when we get there. I don't score the touchdown until I cross the finish line. And so just getting reducing down to 16 weeks, that's not a finish line. Making abortion go away, even in any capacity legislatively, that's not a finish line. We have to keep going all the way to the end till it's in the hearts of the people.
Thank you for your time, Pastor
Absolutely.
John.
It's
I
been a pleasure to
appreciate
talk.
you. And you're one of the organizers of this, right?
Yeah.
Give yourself a shameless plug.
Shameless plug, LakelandUnborn.com. Hey, 47 cities in Texas made their cities a sanctuary city for the unborn, meaning that no abortions would take place in their cities. If 47 cities in Texas can do it, and a couple others around other parts of the nation, Lakeland can do it. And so LakelandUnborn.com will get this ball rolling.
Why are you here today? Hello, Frank.
I'm here because it's always good when you come across something that you feel like you need to stand up and be tall, stand tall, and be for something, you know. And it's a very, very difficult issue, I think, the whole issue. But I've always felt like it's more about the heart, and I pray for the young women who've had abortions. And I'm not worried. God can take care of the unborn who've been taken from us. He's got infinite time to do that. There's no wrong he can't right when you've got infinite time and infinite love. But what we have to worry about is these young girls and guys who basically at a young age, when their hormones are raging and they make a wrong decision, that they do the right thing, as tough as it is. So it's nice to be down here among other people who are like-minded. It's always a fun thing, but I feel bad about myself not doing maybe what more I should be doing about the whole thing. And I think it's about supporting those unwed mothers and supporting the idea of adoption, and but more importantly, the premarital sex has got to be addressed a little bit more by faith communities.
It's interesting that you say that, because the abortion argument stems a lot from what happens before the premarital sex is going on. We aren't teaching our kids, I mean, what's going on in schools? They're teaching them sex ed and it's contraception. It's not, there's more to abstinence than just making a wrong decision. It's about your faith, it's about your soul, it's about your salvation, it's about your mental health, it's about your emotional health, and the physical implications of bonding with someone like that when usually it doesn't work out. So I totally agree with you. You don't hear a lot of people saying that an abortion argument also entails talking about the faith aspect of premarital sex and saving someone from marriage, because then the abortion argument doesn't even really come up at that point. So that's really interesting that you say that.
So this is not so much about law.
Okay.
We care about the law changing, but that's minuscule compared to the issue of changing hearts.
Okay.
And anyway, I'm glad to just be here and have the opportunity to say this to you. If it reaches anybody, maybe it strikes a chord, maybe it doesn't. But I'm proud to be here. And it wasn't my wife is the one who found out about the rally, so that's why I'm here. So
It was a little too cold to be in Washington, D.C. 20 degrees.
Were you there?
No. Nope. 20 degrees. It was so nice to meet you and talk to you guys.
Good luck to you.
Oh, thank you.
Heartbeat bills I believe, are evil because they indirectly tell the world that we don't care about children without a heartbeat. Not only that, the abortion clinics that are abiding by these rules, do you think they're going to find a heartbeat when they do an ultrasound?